Welcome back, everyone, to Missions 101, where today we are here in Trestlebridge, and that is because Standing Stone Games has just released a new set of missions here as part of the Wildwood release. So, since this is a mission spot, there is now a Gabiaka Stable Master here in the Wildwood. And we also have here our Wildwood's mission quest giver. Now, I'm just wondering what happens if I go to Gabilaha, check in there to see is if I picked up a mission wrapper there and they came over here, would the missions in Trestlebridge count for that one? Or is it only the missions that are related to Kabila Ka that will count? So I'll see you back there. Of course, you'll need some way to get to Trestlebridge afterwards because, as usual, the Anachrofu Steelmaster only sends you to the starter areas, so not to any of the others. So I have to remember that. But now, let's go and speak with the quest giver over here. As usual, complete 3 missions. I will take that quest. March for Gunabad missions for a cause. Now, that implies that this is not going to work, but this is Missions 101, and we need to actually test it out. Fortunately, my milestone was set to Trestlebridge, so I was able to get here quickly. There is a port to Trestlebridge that wardens and hunters can earn with acquaintance, I believe, and there is also a port that I think general people could maybe better. Let's get the truth of this. Actually, that will be at the rep vendor. Actually, is she the rep vendor? She's the missions vendor. Right, yeah, this is for all the missions. So these are the things that you can get for doing the missions. But I believe there is a general rep vendor for the area itself. I've lost them. Actually, is this Woodcutter's Brotherhood. Ah, here it is. And what we have here is a return to Bridge requires okay, so they all 3 require 25 of these things as marks of the wild, plus you need to get acquaintance standing with the Woodcutter's Brotherhood, which I do not have yet. And I would have to do quests out in the new zone in order to get that. But right now, we're not here about the quest in the new zone. I have Wandering the Wildwood, a completely different series that is looking into that. Here I'm looking into the missions, and let's see what our list is. Where we have 10 missions that are available, plus there is a weekly to do 10 missions. Megavanen, I am in need of your assistance in completing a series of missions for the ongoing effort to preserve the Wildwood. The factions of the Free Peoples exploring the wilds have treated the woods well, but there are many others who seek to burn and lay waste to the pristine beauty of the Wildwood. The forest is vast, and the numbers of free people here are few. Much is needed to be done. Would you assist me in completing several of these missions? And thus, the idea there is to complete 10 missions within a week since it's a weekly. Now, all 10 missions are available each day. So if you wanted to do all 10 of them and do your weekly in one day, that's fine enough. But here we have mission number 1, a looming collapse. Would you accompany me on a mission, Martin? The free peoples of the Wildwood have reported a group of Tarkrip orcs who head to the mines of Rhythnist with sappers and black powder in tow. It would seem that these foes seek to collapse the mines. If the mines of Rizenset are ever again to be safe, this group of orcs must be removed. Yes, they love removing orcs. Of course, we're also going to need to know the twist and all. So let's see what that is. A group of Tarkric orcs seek to collapse the mines of Rizenset. Your mission is to stop the orcs before they collapse the mines, and this is a sacrificial twist. And low health monsters in this mission will attempt to end their own lives to damage and apply fear effect to those nearby. We've run into those things before, so let's go see what it's like. And we have arrived for the mission, a Looming collapse, and we get a horn here to summon the elf. Here we go. Rothriel. And how's her morale? Her morale is 817,000, about 3 times mine.
What do you need?
It is of the utmost importance that we destroy every sapper and case of black powder that we find within these tunnels. We cannot let these orcs collapse the ruins. Now then, we must. There is much to be done, so we need to destroy 10 sappers and 10 powder cakes. And by sappers, I suspect they mean the explosive devices and not the goblins that often do things like that. Well, that was nice. So, does he attack as soon as you try to start doing it, or did he see me in advance? Oh, that's right, he has the sacrifice thing. Oh, and we have the gang leader here. Okay. Now I have to remember that I have full gambits now because I have been playing lower level wardens recently and having to deal with fewer options. Oh, you have got to be kidding me. He wasn't interruptible? Well, I guess we'll have to deal with that. Looks like they all seem to have that little trait with them. Now, there is another one of those black powder kegs. I have a feeling we're going to be running into a few of those all over the place. Right now, let's see if there is a causal link between starting one of these and an orc running out. I guess not. I guess it was just a coincidence that happened last time. Or it's linked specifically to the first one. It could be that I was just in his range of sight when you reach the first one, which is a likely way of handling it. Now, I'm getting the impression that the missions in this release are a little bit longer than the ones that we had in the original area. Now, let's see. We went this way first or that way first? This way looks like a terminus, so I'll do the terminus first, since that way I'll be turning around afterwards. Ah, yes, that answers our question about the sapper. Because look, it is one of those things, and we will grab that. Grab that. So small explosive devices and large explosive devices are what we find all over the place here. They certainly love their explosives. Oh my, that does not look like a good place to go. Not in the least. Right, we've taken care of that. Let's grab this brute, because I have a feeling he's going to notice us at a very inconvenient time if we don't take care of him right away. Because orcs just like being inconvenient. That is part of their job, I think. Let's be inconvenient to whoever is in the area. Oops. Now, one of the things that are different from Mosa is that I think that our friend Rothriel accompanies us for all of the missions, while in the missions in the Elder Slate area, the only ones we get with the quest givers are the ones that are part of the storyline. The ones that are tied with rep. Those you have someone with you, but for the regular day-to-day ones that you generally repeat, those don't have anyone with you. I think these, as far as I could tell, at least during initial testing, was that Rothriel will always be with you for all of these missions. We'll find that out, and as we do the other 9 in later episodes. And we'll see how long each of these take. I know in the previous one I did 2 missions per episode, but seeing how that we had $80 missions to get through, and the missions I believe tended to be shorter. I was able to put 2 per episode. I think I might only be getting 1 per episode. We will find that out, of course, as we progress along here. Hello. And now it's your turn. And of course, one of the things we were trying to find out today is whether or not I get credit for doing a mission by completing this. Now, it looks like the next couple of updates, they are expecting more missions in each of those, so this looks like a theme that's going to be common in many of the other upcoming updates. So we will have to see that. Now we have 7 and 4 so far. Ooh. Let's get this in here quickly. There are limits to how many of them I want to be fighting at a time. Now your turn. Yeah, that's the gang leader. Actually, alright, I can get the new one quickly, just so I could take care of him by himself, and then we could head on deeper into there. Let's see, little ones in there, little ones in there. We have orcs all over the place. Alright, here we go. Now, wait, this is 8. It's the sappers that are the ones that tend to be rare in here, it looks like. Because you see a couple of them all scattered together, but I haven't run into many of them. Alright, let's see. I better take care of him before knocking out the next few. Rock! Yeah, that's what they all say. Interesting is where this one will fit in officially in the timeline, because this is being released after the Elder Slate bit, and of course has missions and all that stuff, so in some ways it could tie into that mission system, of course. But the natural place in which to do the Wildwood storyline is level 45, which means it sounds like it fits into Alright, I don't know how I'm going to get up there. Oh, it doesn't matter because that was the last powder keg. So it looks like there are a few extras of these. Alright, I guess that's good to know. Oh, maybe that heads up there or something like that. And it looks like we've got a few sappers here. We may have another way to go if things get worse. But it looks like there are several sappers in this direction. So maybe this is going to be a trail of breadcrumbs in the form of sappers that we're going to be running into here. That's what I think of it. And yeah, look at this. They're all over the place down here. I guess this is a smaller tunnel, so they felt that the smaller explosives would be more appropriate here. So I'm not too sure I really want to be fighting someone right next to a sapper that is armed. It's sort of a bit of a nasty thing to go under there. I still try to figure out though why they call them sappers, because it's a term more associated with a person with a combat engineer. So the combat engineers would be the ones who are using. There you go. So therefore, the person who uses the devices rather than through the devices themselves. Well, I did figure out how to get up to that box of powder that I was asking about earlier. Those, and now, let's get one more into here. Ta-da! Where'd the elf go? Oh, elf! Okay, return to the mine entrance. All right. Now we are back here at the entrance. And they lead you here probably so that you could pick up the mission reward and pick up your. Actually, in this one, instead of getting the Gabilaha marks, you're getting the Breedland wood marks instead. So these are ones appropriate to the breed missions. So the rewards are tied properly, and it looks like it's time to get out of here. It appears that I opened up a new deed while I was in that mission. Wildwood Mission Slayer. This is to kill enemies inside a mission. So I've killed 23 of 100. So that'll take a little while. And you get 4 Breland wood marks in response to that. And also gave me credit for the deed to find sites in the Wildwood. We've done well, Warden. With the mines of Rithenset once again secure, the free peoples will now be able to continue with their efforts beneath the Wildwood. There you go. Completed. Mission a Looming collapse. On a continuing mission, this is complete missions. 1 of 45 missions can be completed across Middle Earth. So this is for missions in general. So it looks like all missions, but it's 45 to complete this. This is well, I'll presume that this is weak. This is repeatable. So I'm going to guess that this is a weekly, because 45 sounds like, well, obviously it's impossible to do 45 missions in a day because there are only 8 in Anarchafu, and there are 10 here, so that's 18 in all, even if you did them all. So it's either going to be a weekly or it is whenever you finish it, you could do it again. But in that case, well, you don't quite have. Maybe about 4 days worth or something like that, somewhere around. Anyway, it would take you a little bit of time in which to do all of those missions. And in which case you can get a. This must be a top level missions completion thing, because it gives you a scroll of empowerment and a rune of knowledge, and these are the top level ones, plus some legendary item boosts, some crafting bonus materials, or missions bonus character boosts. So those are all nice, fun little things that you can get. So we'll see if I can get one of those on here. I'm guessing that this is a level 130 only thing. This is a repeatable quest that you have never completed. All right. Now, as for the weekly thing, this is on a mission weekly mission report. This says Oh, yeah, this does say weekly. Duh. And here's on a mission weekly. This is probably from. All right. I don't know why there are two of them, one for 15 and one for 45. Also in here, marching Gunabad missions. Yes, they are Gunabad missions only because it still says 0 of 3 for that. So we answered that question. We got one for 45 for these two, and also one of 10 for the Wildwood missions one, since this was a Wildwood mission. That was good to see on that. Let's see what we can get here. Now, we can't get anything yet, since obviously we are a huge number of things. We only have 5 of these, but for 200 of these marks, we can get a steed, tome of a horn. We get a horn for 150. We can get a banner here, long handled mining pick, some appropriate cosmetics, and you could also get some real items in there, and that's going to depend upon what level you are. So at level 130, it looks like it is a choice of one of 3 earrings that you can get. So I'm presuming it's earrings over all the levels. So you have a choice of 3 earrings that are based on your level and how good they are. But that's going to require 80 of these, and I presume that, let's see, I got 2 for finishing the quest, plus you get the random 1 to 3 if you're at level cap. So I'm hoping at lower levels then, because you need 80 for each of these. Ah, and here you need only, looks like regardless of level, you need 80 of them. So are you going to actually get the marks at lower levels, or are they going to be a lot tougher to get? I don't know, but that concludes our first mission here in Trestle Bridge, and we've got one more as we look into the various missions here in Trestle Bridge and the Wildwood in Missions 101.